108 Rockstar Guitars NAMM Show Day 3, and the goddesses are coming in today.
You got that right.
And we have Patti Quatro with us, who got honored last night at the She-Rock Music Awards. Thank you for joining us to talk about your guitar.
Oh, I have 3 amazing ones that I used. First one was a Les Paul 1953 Gold Top. It's the only one like it because they did an adaptation that they were working on stuff, and it's unusual. I think everybody that I played with in the day has tried to buy it from me. Pete, everybody, Jeff.
Jeff
I'm
Beck.
not selling it. Yeah,
To buy it.
yeah. He sort of was a mentor to me when he started bending notes with the way he did. Oh my God, we had a ball. And Leslie West was another mentor, very strong and very effective.
Didn't you say Leslie gave you a guitar?
Yes, yes. I have a custom job from him that he gifted me with. I have that one, and then I have my beloved SG that I have the mirrors all over. That was my favorite.
And that's the one I get to photograph, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. She's coming out to my house in Malibu. We're going to do it.
Is that your Fanny guitar?
That was my Fanny guitar. I loved it because it had a fast, thin, slick neck, and my hands aren't that big. So for me, it was real slick, and I used to be pretty showy. So I would go up and play it, and it was easy to maneuver. The Les Paul's heavy. So I use that in the studio.
Cool. And
You
what
wanna
do you mean?
ask
What do you
us
mean?
something.
Used to be pretty showy. You pretty
Well,
showy now?
I mean, when I was doing with Fanny, we really, Gene and I used to be we got up front and really went at it.
Right on. You
We
guys
had
really
fun.
did.
Oh, yeah.
You
We had
girls
fun.
really did. You
that
rocked
was,
it.
That was glam. That was the birth of glam. Truly.
It was part of the
Visual,
glam?
music, and vision, and bling. On stage, bling. There's more going on here than just the notes. There's a visual element that fans are going, what? Girls are doing what?
That's right. In fact, there was a lot of controversy about it. It's interesting because I love the mirrors because they would catch the lights and stuff. But there was all this talk back then about women having to dress down in Levi's and, to be as good as the men or whatever. I said, screw that. I said, you own your sexuality. If you want to go up there in t-shirts and Levi's, go for it. If you want to dress sexier, go for it. Just own who you are. And that was the main point. It used to get me crazy that they would have to feel they had to dress a certain way.
But that's called rock and roll attitude.
That's right.
You have to stand your ground and be who you
Absolutely.
are, not be molded and shaped. You have to be who you are, dress how you are, and have the attitude that you have. And that's why Fanny made it and was given the first record deal ever for an all-girl band.
Right.
I mean, because they had attitude. They said, we're gonna rock and roll. And
That's
F you
right.
if you don't like it. We're doing it.
What inspired you to pick up the guitar? How did you learn? What was your first instrument?
I had a little epiphany. I'm from Detroit Rock City. I grew up playing with the likes of Nugent, MC5, Alice Cooper, all those heavy bands. That's who Susie and me played with our whole life, learning our craft. So right away, we weren't tinking around real girly. It was like right away into the heavy stuff. So that's where we learned it. And my epiphany was I went to a Beatles concert. This is way back, '64. And everybody around me was crying and screaming, and I looked around and looked around. It wasn't affecting me that way. I'm from a musical family, so I was just observing, and I want to do that. I went home and called my best friends, and we started the band that night. I said, all females, let's do it.
Did you ever hang out at the Grandee Ballroom?
Oh, are you kidding? Our CDs from the old days, we have 2 CDs that are still on CD Baby. They're still selling, editor's picks and all that. They were filmed with the MC5 on New Year's Eve at a live concert on a 2-track machine, and they still stand up.
There's a great documentary on the Grandee Ballroom.
Oh yeah.
It's terrific.
There's 3 of them. I'm in 2 of them. One of them isn't out yet. And
Tom D'Annunzio made one.
Yes. Tony D'Annunzio.
Tony D'Annunzio.
Yes. And then there's another one coming that I think is going to be more inclusive.
It was a vortex of rock in the late 60s and early 70s. Truly was.
Do you know how many groups had to go there to break their record?
The Who played there.
The Who had to break one of their albums there. Kiss was going to be dropped by Casablanca. We were on with them on Casablanca. They were going to be dropped if they didn't break in Detroit. Because the Detroit audience...
You had to break
You had to. Detroit, you leave it on the stage or you go home. I mean, they are hard-ass.
It's called Rock City for a reason.
That's right.
That's
well,
awesome.
There's another documentary, too, that's coming out that features Fanny. And you and Susie are in that, and it's called She Rocks. And,
oh, yes.
Orianthe opens up that movie where she's playing, and then she's talking about how she learned every Santana song. And then, you know, Susie and Patti are on there talking about the Fanny days and how, you know, they had to fight their way through. And a lot of these stories that you're telling us now are on it. So you guys got to watch, keep your radar out for the film documentary, She Rocks.
Thank you, Patti.
Thanks,
awesome.
Patti.